back to Steel City Live here on Mike Drop Sports. What is up, everybody? If you're not watching now, you can watch later once it uploads. But thank you. Make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button, sending us out into the algorithm. We truly appreciate it. Put your comments, questions, and concerns inside of the live chat. We're going to dive in here today. And really, who gives a shit about Aaron Rodgers? I'm so tired of hearing the news about it. Honestly, guys, it seems like the dude's kind of just literally, this is what I think about the whole situation. I think the cat don't want to do off-season stuff. And to each their own, man. Dude's 41 years old right now. I mean, lives a fabulous life. He's filthy fucking rich. But honestly, who really cares? The dude don't want to do the off-season workouts. And honestly, if you're the Steelers, you got to give that deadline. You got to say to him, look, buddy, here it is. The draft comes up. If we're able to get a quarterback, because we're going to talk about this later on in the show, why you don't have to trade up, because you're hearing all types of that stuff now. Every day it's a new rumor with the trades and all that on how the Steelers could move up. Guys, this isn't a draft quarterback-wise where the Steelers would want to do that. If you're going up for another player of significance, maybe you do that, but they're not going to be doing any of these types of crazy trades to go after a quarterback. There's none to get. To risk that type of capital. But if you're Aaron Rodgers, again, guys, it's real simple right now. It's boiling down to, I would have thought that he would have already been a Steeler. That's just my theory. If he wanted to play football, he'd already been done. But what he doesn't want to do this offseason stuff. He just doesn't, man. He lives a fantastic life. He just does not want to do it. And that's really what this all boils down to. And you can't really, it is what it is. But who cares? And again, who cares? And if you're the Steelers, who cares? I mean, it's real simple here, guys. You took a shot. If you're the Steelers, this is how you have to look at it. You took a shot. You went after him. You gave him an offer. You brought him in. You talked to him. You had the conversations. You made your position known that you would like to have him. You signed Mason Rudolph in the meantime. You brought in a veteran. Mason's a veteran. You brought him in. You say to yourself, we're good. It is what it is. And that's the approach you have to have if you're the Steelers. If you have any other approach, you're going to start reaching. You're going to start grabbing for things and making moves that don't make sense. And you're going to panic and you're going to do stupid shit. And it's going to cause mass chaos, mass destruction if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's just my thoughts on that. And again, guys, I just don't know why anyone really cares. Who cares what Aaron Rodgers is doing? He's an old guy. Is he going to win you a Super Bowl? Probably not. I mean, look at the firepower within the AFC. We talk about the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons. We talk about all these guys. There's significant firepower throughout the AFC. And is Aaron Rodgers that guy that's going to lead you to the mountaintop right away, instantly come in and make this team that much better? The answer is probably no. Is there a chance? Yeah, sure. There's a chance for anything. But the chances are probably not. And again, who really cares? And the amount of media attention, the amount of focus that's been put on to a 41-year-old quarterback that came off a year in which his team wasn't very good. Coming off another year where it's an Achilles injury to where he probably wasn't even fully healthy at all last year, because he probably got nicked up throughout the whole season, going forward. Coming to a division in the AFC North that is known for getting beat around, known for the competitive way they play football, for the physical brand of football that they play. Is that someplace you want to be if you're Aaron Rodgers? I mean, honestly, ask yourself that question. Put yourself in Aaron Rodgers' shoes. Would that be a place you'd want to go play football? I don't know if the answer would be yes there. It just doesn't really make any sense. DJ Thomas says Aaron is the past, not the future. Not even sure if he can help us now. Draft a quarterback this year and next, and keep building. Only way out of the slump is straightforward. Let's go Steelers. Absolutely perfect comment there from DJ. And that is the only way out of this no playoff win slump. A lot of teams in the NFL, a lot of professional sports franchises, Getting in a slump looks like what the Pittsburgh Pirates are in over this last like 3-4 decades of misery. They've had one brief period where they were all right, and then boom, back to being shitty. But that's what that looks like, being bad, where you're never any good. And the Steelers have been at least competitive. I'll give them that. So the fan base hasn't been totally miserable. But to get out of the place that the Steelers are in currently isn't very difficult because, again, they've remained competitive. The team isn't bad. The team is pretty damn good. It needs a couple pieces and some coaching adjustments to be real about it. And guys, I'm not going to come off of that Mike Tomlin thing. Mike Tomlin's been bad, and we have to be real about that. And again, I know a lot of people aren't going to want to hear that, and there are the Mike Tomlin people that just go crazy about if I say anything wrong about him. Well, it's the truth. He's not been good. He may be wonderful to the players in terms of in the building. That's great, and I admire him for that. But on the field in situational football, the guy's really not good and would be fired anywhere else for what he has done, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys have other thoughts. But again, he has to take some ownership. So the Steelers aren't a tremendous amount of adjustments away from being really ultra competitive. And when I mean ultra competitive, I mean getting to that AFC championship game, maybe getting a Super Bowl berth, winning a playoff game, those things that haven't been done in the city of Pittsburgh for quite some time. What's up? Another wombat in the house. Sleeping lady, what is up? What is up, Tom? Aaron had a bad last 3 years. Yeah, he's not been good here over the last several. He wasn't bad last year. They were in the games. The Jets were in games. What really failed them a lot was that defense. They weren't able to come up with any really timely stops at all, which is kind of puzzling to me. I feel like they got some players on the defensive side of the football, but it is what it is. They weren't able to put a real team effort together, and that's what happens sometimes when you try to build a team, a dream team, as Aaron Rodgers was trying to put together all his buddies and things of that nature. You sometimes don't have that chemistry, and that is a big part of it, that team chemistry. These aren't NBA rosters that you're talking about. You're not talking about these types of 12-man, 11-man rosters. You're talking about a 53-man roster, practice squads, a whole building full of executives, a monster coaching staff, not to count the trainers, the equipment people. You're talking probably a couple hundred people, a few hundred people that contribute to this organization on a daily basis to keep it running, to keep it at a top shelf level. And that definitely needs a lot of chemistry because you can have some bumps in the road anywhere in that little machine that you got running that team, and things can just go south. I'm telling you guys, it's a lot more to it than just some of these other sports. What's up, TJ Black? This shows Pittsburgh is taking a quarterback. If we had a good quarterback development, taking a Milroe, a dart won't hurt as much. Yeah. Milroe's not going to be scary. I hate to break that one to you, TJ. I like Dart. Dart's all right. My real thing about Jackson Dart, though, TJ, and what I got to make sure that I really mention this, and I want everybody to be really aware of this if the Steelers do get Jackson Dart, and that is his processing. That is not at the level that you would like it to. And that was something that I put a big knock on Justin Fields when he came into the league. His processing, when he came into Chicago, it wasn't good enough. The processing part of his game needed a lot of work. And I felt like he made some strides when he came to Pittsburgh in that category over his time. He got better at it. But the processing, guys, it's really, really important because that's going to be a direct reflection on your anticipation and things of that nature that you have to have at an NFL level at the quarterback position. You got to have those things. You got to be able to process quickly. And I'm not sure if Jackson Dart is ready enough at this point in terms of processing that I'd be willing to spend a first-round pick on Jackson Dart. He'll probably be gone by 21 anyway. But I don't know. There's other teams too, guys, that are in this quarterback game, and I want to remind you all of this also because where the Steelers pick at 21, you're not going to get a quarterback outside of Cam Ward. Let's be real about this, and I don't even know if Cam Ward is processing good enough. I don't know if he's a day one starter. I'm just saying that. And I don't know if any quarterback in this draft is going to be day one starter. There probably will be. There probably could be. And there'll probably be a couple really good ones come out. But we don't know for sure. I'm talking home run hits, man. That these guys are surefire, going to do really, really well. Where the Steelers are picking guys, there is no quarterback that's going to be able to fall to them at 21 that would justify a first-round pick in my eyes. Again, I love Shador. I like Jackson. Again, I think his processing is a little weak. I think Shador's processing is better. I love Tyler Shuck. But again, guys, I think that you can get the same type of quarterback in rounds 3 and 4. I think that you would be able to get a day 2 guy if you're the Steelers instead of spending a first-round piece on a quarterback because you're not going to get anybody that's significantly different from a Will Howard, from a Tyler Shuck, from a Jackson Dart. You're not going to get anybody different, guys. They're virtually going to be the same from pick 21 in that area to rounds 3 or 4. Whether you like to hear that or not, it's no skin off my nose. I'm just telling you the truth. And that is the truth. And you really got to look at these guys. I love Tyler Shuck again. I think he's going to be a guy, but there's concerns there too. There's not one quarterback that I can look at in this draft and not point out 3 or 4 deficiencies. And what does that tell you? It tells you that there's none of them that really warrant that first round tag that you're going to put on them. And again, there's a lot of teams in this quarterback lottery now. You got the Saints that are looking for somebody. That throws a wrench into it. Then you got to figure out teams that you may think they have their guy, but maybe internally into that organization, they're saying to themselves, maybe we get a young guy here because we're not just so sure just yet on whether or not this player is going to be our guy moving forward. So there's a lot of those variables in there. What's up, Shees? What's up, Craig? It sounds like Aaron's family and or friends are either sick and or in trouble, and he told the Steelers this, so I blame Steelers more than anything else. I'm not sure about that, Craig. I'm just talking about sound bites. I really don't want to listen to Aaron's whole thing because, again, there's just a lot going on. And if Craig said it, I trust Craig. He's always in here. So if Craig's saying it, that might be true. So no doubt about that. But I just really feel like no one should care. And this is not a slight against Aaron Rodgers. But, guys, there is no reason to care. There is nothing that Aaron Rodgers is bringing to the table that is changing the 2025 season dramatically. There's nothing. Mason Rudolph is a significant piece that with weapons can be very, very productive. That can achieve the Mike Tomlin 10-win season. That can happen with Mason Rudolph. And that's probably what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. You're probably going to have the same outcome. So why not step toward the future and not try to bring in some old guy that, one, public relations-wise, media-wise, it's just not going to be good for the locker room. It's just not, guys. You know that. You know that as well as I do. That's something I don't even have to tell you. Also, he's old. So chances are you'll probably be going to Mason Rudolph at some point throughout the season. Okay. Here's another one. Why spend $40 million or $30 million, whatever? It's going to be between 30 or 40. He's not going to play for anything less than that. So why not just spend that on something else? You have the cap space right now. Go ahead, get your guy TJ Watt re-signed. Do something like that. You don't have to bring in Aaron Rodgers. TJ, we can't draft projects with quarterback coach. Staff needs NFL-ready quarterback with zero issues. Tomlin isn't a head coach. Luke, Kevin, or the Vikings or Shanahan. No, he's not like those guys. No, TJ, not at all. He's not. And the Steelers, haven't proven that they can really develop a quarterback at all. Everybody isn't Mason Rudolph, guys. Mason Rudolph is a rare example, and I don't know if Steeler fans really are realizing how fortunate you are to possess a guy like Mason Rudolph as a guy that's the backup plan. Because Mason Rudolph was a guy that was able to put his head down, ignore the noise, ignore being overlooked, ignore being treated basically like dog shit in that building in terms of his ability to get onto the football field. Basically overlooked when you're wheeling guys out there like Mitchell Trubisky and Kenny Pickett, and knowing that Mason's better than them, but continually just bypassing Mason and trying to force something that wasn't there. And Mason was able to ignore it. And he was able to work hard enough on his own. And that's a rare thing, guys. A lot of people need motivated by other people. A lot of people have to have somebody else helping them along the path. Mason Rudolph really did a lot of work on his own, man. And it shined and it showed. And his pocket presence showed it. And damn, I just don't see the difference, the season difference, if you have Aaron or you have Mason. Tom says, if Cam is drafted by the Titans, he will start. Callahan's job's on the line. Yeah, no doubt. If a guy's taken within the top 5, my friends, 9 times out of 10, 9.5 times out of 10, they're going to start. No doubt, Tom. I fully agree. Does that mean that they're NFL ready? I don't think so. I think a lot of these players learn baptism by fire, and that sometimes has to be the way you learn. But sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's a bad thing. We saw it as a good thing with Ben Roethlisberger when he came in for a injured Tommy Maddox and was able to go 15-1 in his rookie season, and that was baptism by fire. And again, sometimes it works out. Sometimes it's complete disaster, but you never know. Mark Malone, I've never paid attention to Rodgers before. I listened to him this afternoon. Seems like no BS, chill dude to me. Yeah, he may be. Again, I've never paid attention to him either. And I'm not going to, I just choose not to with him. Again, I feel like from what I'm seeing and reading and the bits and pieces that I've heard, I think the dude got a lot more going on in his life than really what football would just maybe be a distraction. He lives in Malibu, guys. He lives on a beach in Malibu, California. Who would want to live there? But whatever. It's beautiful. But anyway, he's there. He's got money. He's got all this stuff. He's done so many things. Why? Why go cross the country to a town that maybe isn't your type of people? I mean, honestly, I'm just saying. Maybe he wouldn't fit in, I believe that he really doesn't want to do this off-season shuffle. He doesn't want to do the OTAs. He doesn't want to do the mini camps. He doesn't want to do those things because he has so much else, so many other things going on in his life that why adding football to it wouldn't make sense. David says he's going to retire. Craig says, unfortunately, this coaching staff, I don't believe, can make a rookie quarterback better with this year's quarterbacks or next year's either. I think next year might have a chance. Again, we have to see the season play out, so we won't know that just yet. But I think that there's better options, in my opinion, at least at face value. And again, guys, there's a lot of time and in-depth looks that will have to go into those assumptions that we'll all make from now until 2026. But I know what is going on right now in 2025, guys, and there is no quarterback that is worth trading up for. There is no quarterback in this draft that's worth taking in the first round that will be available to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And again, this is not a slight on Shedeur Sanders. This isn't a slight on Jackson Dart. Nobody. This is just the truth. Those guys that I may have mentioned, the Cams and the Shedeurs, those guys will be gone probably by 21. Sadly, nobody at 21 for the Steelers. Nobody. Even if somebody falls to them, I don't feel like it's worth it. I just feel like you could get the same quality player third, fourth round. So why invest that draft capital when you could get best player available on the board, guys? You can. And again, the Steelers need to do that. They're not in a position to luxury pick. They're not. They're not in a position to go out there and reach for players. They're not in that position. They need to just take the best player in round one. Then in the other rounds, go try to find your people. Go try to fill out position groupings if you like. First round, take the best, most talented player that you can find and get them. No question. When you fill out the ticket, guys, if you're the Steelers and you're filling out that ticket and you're making that call to the commish, well, not to the commissioner, but to his people, to the desk, you're making the call to the league, and you're going to tell them who you're going to select. There should be no doubt in that room. No doubt from anybody. Everybody in that room should be in agreement with who you're taking. And I know that may be a difficult conclusion to make with a group of people that size. I know that's a difficult ask, but you got to make sure that that's the case. Everybody got to be excited about it. It's got to be a slam dunk, guys. That's what first round picks got to be like. And again, I know it and I say it all the time. First round picks, any pick inside of this draft is a complete and absolute gamble. They are lottery picks, guys. Nobody knows how any of them are going to turn out. You don't know about injuries. You don't know about anything. You don't know anything that is going to happen in the future. I wish we had a crystal ball to predict it. But you got to make your best educated guess, and everybody's got to be on board with it. You've got to make everybody in love with that first round guy. He said he'd play for $10 million. I doubt that. Hey, I doubt that, Mark. Maybe he would, man. Maybe he would, Mark. Would trust you better to develop a quarterback than that, Coach. Thanks, Greg. Thank you, buddy. I don't know if I'd do a better job or not, but I'd try. I'd give her hell, baby. TJ Black says Mason is a guy who is perfect for Tomlin's system. He should have had a chance to be the franchise, but that Myles Garrett moment, in my opinion, ruined his chances, which is crazy. Yeah, I agree. I definitely don't care which way we roll, but Rodgers seems like a legit dude. And I got to say this about Aaron Rodgers. Super intelligent, cocky, confident. And you got to be that way if you're the quarterback of an NFL franchise. You got to have that confidence. You got to be cocky, almost to an ignorant level. You have to be. But again, I feel like he has some good qualities, no doubt about it. But don't hold up a franchise. And I don't think he's holding the Steelers up. And I don't think the Steelers are being held hostage by him. I don't. I just feel like they put that offer out there. They just need to know, hey, like, are you coming or not? But again, I don't think it matters. I think they draft a young guy regardless at some point in the 2025 NFL draft. I don't think it makes a difference because there's nobody that you can go trade for. So whether Aaron signs or not, there's going to be no real discussion about a trade anyway to go up. You hear these wacky fucking ideas, dude, that are making me like, why? You're this thirsty for shit to talk about? We're going to trade up to get the number 8, or we're going to trade up to get the number this, that, inside of the top 10. No, you're not, bro. There's nobody there. That quarterback-wise. And the only way you make a trade up that far is to get a franchise quarterback, guys. The only way you go from 21 to 8 is to get a franchise quarterback. And there is no one to do that with. There's just no options there. Steel 43, just ride with Mason and let chips fall where they may. David Murray, what about y'all paying TJ Watt? I think TJ Watt, guys, is a one-hat guy. That's why I haven't really discussed it at length, guys, because I think it's a non-story. They're going to pay TJ Watt. It'll be 38 to 41 million. That'll be the range I use. 38 to 41 million dollars per year that TJ Watt gets. And that's really it. And the salary cap's big enough that they can do that, guys. They can pay TJ Watt that money. I get it. I know there's other ways to go and things of that nature to not have to pay that. I get that. But TJ Watt is going to be a Steeler. They're going to pay TJ Watt. That's just the way it is. I believe him when he said he has some people going through some shit, sounds health related. He may, Mark. I know, I don't think he talks to his immediate family. At least several years ago, there was a big story about how he didn't talk to his parents and his brothers and stuff like that. So I don't know. I have no clue. Maybe that is the case, bro. And I wish him well. I hope nothing's going on crazy. You never want to see that inside anybody's family. I think, yeah, maybe TJ. Um, yeah, I would say that too, Mark. Another Wombat. I wouldn't be shocked if they trade up for Sanders. I wouldn't support it, but it wouldn't shock me. It would shock me a great deal to move up to like the top 10, another Wombat. Maybe if it's like one or two spots, I could see that happening. But honestly, they're not going to trade up to the top 10 to get Shador, guys. If they do, I would be absolutely floored and I would totally eat my words. But I'm pretty confident that it won't happen. And it would shock me. It would shock me big time because I think the only logical play in this draft for the Steelers is a trade back because, again, you're getting the same value. You could find the same value and gain value at the same time at the quarterback position. If that's what you're going to do, I think the Steelers hold pat at 21 and try to wait for one of those big monsters along the defensive front to fall to them. I think that's a very important piece of business that they want to handle. And guys, let's be real clear about what the Steelers are and what they have been over the years. And that is very defense first. And I don't think that's going to change all of a sudden here in this draft. I think that definitely the Steelers will continue that theme, and that's what they're looking for, to add depth, to have a future replacement for Cam, to have a real run stuffer in the middle, a true nose, a guy that can really play the gaps really, really well and stop the run. That's what you're looking for. And I know the Steelers have had their troubles with the run and things of that nature. People talk about TJ and say he can't stop the run, which is bullshit. They don't watch the game, I guess. But yeah, the Steelers have players that can stop the run. Alex Highsmith plays the run really, really well. TJ plays the run awesome. Herbig needs a lot of work at playing the run, but he can play it here and there. I think Patrick Queen needed to be a little bit better. I think Keanu Benton needed to be a little bit better in the run game. Cam Hayward, I thought played the run pretty well. But late in the game, I felt like he would get gashed in his gaps also. But yeah, I felt like they have some players there, and I don't think they're horrible, but they need that one real true nose to really stuff that middle up and take away that section of field for opposing offenses and really slow momentum of opposing offenses when they get to running the football. Let me get a drink here, guys. Make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button. It's a slow news period here, guys, right now with the Steelers, with the NFL period. You'll see some signings here once the draft is done. You'll see, guys, I think the Steelers either draft a running back or they sign one. You have guys like Chubb. You have guys like J.K. Dobbins. There's somebody else out there too that I know the Steelers could probably get. But you'll see maybe a signing of that. But the Steelers will add to that room again. You need another big physical runner. You have the Jalen Warrens. You have the Kenneth Gainwells. You need to fill out that room with a guy that can with a hammer. That's what you need to fill that room out to complement that room. And I think the Steelers will do so. Craig says, I wouldn't trade up. If anything, I would trade back to get a second. And side note, I really enjoy your content. Keep up the awesome. Thanks, Craig. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, I agree. I think a trade back is probably the only logical answer also. What's up, Steel43? Funny thing is, Colbert wanted Hurts, but Tomlin wanted Chase Claypool. Yeah, that was, see, in hindsight now, everybody's like, damn, Jalen was dropping down the draft board during that time. And, I would have loved to have Jalen Hurts. If you know what you know now, and you've seen him play at the NFL level, I'd have loved to have Jalen Hurts, no doubt about it. I admire Jalen. I think he's a true leader, a real NFL quarterback. He's a winner, and that's what matters. Throw statistics out the window. I don't care about all the stats. I want to know how many games you win, and they win a lot of games under the leadership of Jalen Hurts. So I love Jalen, no doubt about it. And Chase Claypool ended up being a flop, but he did get us back with Joey Porter Jr. because the Bears are idiots. Mark Malone, he really said it like he meant it. Said he told all teams he didn't care about money. I believe him. Yeah, maybe he does, man. That would be awesome, Mark. If he would come and play for 10 mil, oh my Lord, that'd be great, dude. That'd be so awesome, man. What's up, AK Davis in the house? Armand, most of con artists' bad knees or injury prone, gets no wide receiver 2 last year and only Mason this year. He's been counter and Tomlin from the Stone. He's a bean counter and Tomlin's from the Stone Age. Yeah, I still think overall Omar Khan's done a phenomenal job. I do overall. I do. I think he's made some blunders, no doubt about it, Armand. I don't disagree with that. But I think his overall performance has been, pretty damn good. Tomlin, on the other hand, I think his performance has been subpar for the better part of a decade. And again, I will never come off of that because the proof's in the pudding. We can see it. I don't have you don't have to take my word for it. It's right there in front of you. Bringing a quarterback every year until you don't need to. Amen, Craig. I agree, man. Con artist, late cutting Watt deal being a year late, 5 to 7 million more. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. They should have paid him last year. No doubt about that, Armand. Yeah, I agree, Armand. There's a couple that could go from late round 2 through 4. There's some quarterback. That's where I think the Steelers find their value, no doubt. I think that's where you look for your quarterback. I think you can still get a Tyler Shuck. I think you could still get a Will Howard. I still think some of those guys will be available at that area. I think there's going to be 3 taken inside of round 1. I think that'll be Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders. I think they'll be gone within the top 15, no doubt about it. Cam really early. And I think Jackson Dart finds his way off the board early inside of this draft, which I think after watching him, I really like Jackson Dart in terms of several parts of his game. But that processing, the more I watch him, his processing is really starting to concern me. And it might be not so good of a pick for some people, man, for somebody that gets him. And now, I'm not saying that he can't improve that because he very well may. And I've been high on him this offseason, but the more I watch, the more I get concerns with that processing. What's up, Roberta Campbell in the house? What's up, Roberta? Mike Miller, I'm so excited for the Steelers' new quarterback, Shedeur Sanders. You don't even know, Mike. Never know, man. Don't get excited yet because chances are he's not a Steeler. Roberta says, I think the Steelers should trade back and try to get a pick closer for the second round area. Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. The Steelers pick at 21. You trade back, you're basically almost putting yourself into a 2 second round picks kind of deal area. You know what I mean? Which is kind of crazy, ain't it? Harvey got Steelers invite of the 30. You had Scoop first. I'd like round 4, look at his UCF tapes. I'm not sure who you're talking about. Did I say he was coming? Maybe I did. I can't remember, man. There's been so many top 30 visits. But they've had many. Many. Craig Werlow, would you give up next year's 3rd round or 4th round for Jalen Ramsey since Dolphins have agreed to trade him? That's an interesting. Interesting topic. What's up, D? That's an interesting topic there, Craig. Very interesting because I love Darius Slay. I think he'll still do pretty damn good. I think he can still be a cover corner and what the Steelers need. When you look at Jalen Ramsey, guys, you're looking at a salary of $20 million plus. So that has to be something that you really take a look at because you're gonna have to absorb that salary if you're the Steelers. I don't hate it, but I'm not sure with the salary how much you can give up in terms of significant draft capital. And I think where the Steelers sit here in 2025, that third and fourth round picks are of extreme value to them because they need to bring in a younger quarterback. They need to bring in a quarterback this year in this draft. They have to. Whether you have Aaron Rodgers on the roster or not, you have to do it. And I think that giving up something like that third or fourth round pick eliminates that from your draft board, no doubt, unless you go out there and you get a Milrow or somebody late. Because I think, well, somebody's going to gobble him up, but I think he's like a seventh round talent, sixth round talent at the quarterback position. Maybe you get lucky and get that. But man, I don't know if I could do that considering the salary and what the third and fourth rounders mean for the Pittsburgh Steelers in this draft, considering missing that second round pick is big for the Steelers right now, guys. It's really troublesome, no doubt about it. Another Wombat, I think McCord will be a sleeper pick. Needs some development time, but he has great fundamentals. Yeah, he could be another one, another Wombat that they could get late, no doubt. I wouldn't hate it at all. I wouldn't hate it. D says, looks like we might get to see a continuation of the final four games of 2023. Maybe. You never know, man. Maybe so. It's looking maybe so. But here's the thing, guys, when we're talking about Mason, D says the continuation of 2023. Here's the one thing that might happen to Mason. And this is just me being very, very honest and transparent about this. And I believe Mason should have the shot. I believe he's worked to deserve the shot. I believe that he can do the job. I believe he can be successful. But here's the thing. If the Steelers invest a first-round pick in a quarterback, I am here to tell you, my friends, with what they've done to Mason over the years, I don't see how Mason starts over that pick. I don't. I can't see it. I just cannot see it happening. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Mason will get the nod for the first so many games. But Tomlin will be looking for the first chance to yank his ass. And that's no way to play quarterback at the NFL level, man. Looking over your shoulder constantly, never having that real chance. That's tough. That's tough. I hope that Mason gets the chance. That's what I'm rooting for. But we'll see. I think there's some other variables at play. Craig Werlow, Steelers Insider, said Sanders' interview didn't go well. I'm not sure which Steelers Insider you're talking about, Craig. Everyone that I've listened to or talked to has said that it went really well. Both sides were super thrilled. And hearing Shador talk, it's a place that he would love to be. So I'm not sure who you heard that from. If you want to throw their name in there, feel free. If you don't want to call them out on here, you can always email it to me. And I could try to listen to their comments and see what they were saying. But everything I've heard has been all great about it. So I'm not sure. Still 43 facts, but he signed up for it. No doubt he did. He knew what he was getting into when he come back. As far as Mason. Mark Malone, God, I hope we don't draft a first-round bust. Yeah, that's the thing, man. You never know. You never know. And this is all such a giant lottery. D says, I think it would be it'd be smarter to develop a young player for a year or two like they used to. Yeah, and it's never hurt. That's the thing. Developing young talents never hurt, you know? Hell, the guy they're pursuing, Aaron Rodgers, sat for how long behind Brett Favre? Jordan Love in Green Bay sat behind Aaron Rodgers for how long? I'm just using those guys as examples because they come fresh to my mind. But there's been several examples of guys sitting behind other players waiting to get their shot, coming in and getting it done. So definitely I think that could be very beneficial to a young guy. Coming in and allowing them to get their feet wet a little bit, you know, and depending on what kind of quarterback you draft, maybe you have a time or two where you get them in the ball game for something special, something different, you know, some sort of gadgety play, you know, to calm their nerves down a little bit, something like that. Maybe that's how that works. Joseph Frost, aren't we all? Hold on. Hi, user. See ya. Goodbye. It's almost Christmas time for Steelers family. It is, Danny. What's up, man? It is. It is almost time. Another one back. Quarterbacks definitely need more development time, especially with the way college offenses operate compared to the NFL. Yeah, these college offenses are so uncomplex, my friends. They are so vanilla. And if you look at Jackson Dart, for instance, he comes from a system that's very, very non-complex, and that's something that is another factor in that. When I talked about his processing earlier, and I talked about Shador being a better processor, I feel like Tyler Shuck is a better processor. And you talk about the lame dick offense that Jackson came from. That has to be concerning, no doubt about it. I agree, man. They made a lot of NFL offenses the same way. Yeah, and that is so crazy. And you look at the teams, I think, that have the most success in terms of playoff success. I believe either have Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and two monster receivers. But I think their system's pretty good too. Or it's a more complex system. I think the more complex teams, the teams that aren't as just college based as some of the other NFL teams, I feel like succeed more when it matters in the playoffs because they can outsmart teams. They can outcoach teams. And that's the difference, guys. You want to know where coaching really matters? You want to know when it really, really counts, guys? That's playoff football, my friends. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that. But why do you think that I look down on Mike Tomlin a little bit here and talk about how poorly he's done? When coaching matters, when coaching can make a real difference, he doesn't show up. He's not there in those moments. And that's when coaching can show up. And again, that's why I think you see teams like the Chiefs that are in there year in, year out with a guy like Patrick Mahomes. I'll give you that. They have a franchise quarterback. But Andy Reid's offense is one of complexity, is one of inventiveness. He writes the rules. I mean, this guy is the innovator. So, you look at those types of teams, and those are the teams that go really, really far and do really big things. And you want to know why I'm so down on Lamar Jackson as opposed to winning, or when we talk about winning championships, it's because of those things. The offense that they run isn't an offense complex enough to go far in the playoffs. Why? Because they rely on a lot of Lamar's athleticism. They rely on a lot of the college brand stuff in that offense, and that isn't enough to win championships. And those are the real things about that. Those are the real facts, guys. And people will dog me. They'll just say it's because I don't like Lamar. That's not the case. That's not the case. It's just because of what they do and how they are used. No, it didn't, Mark. Craig, if you had the pick, which running back would you take overall? I would no-brainer Genty, but Omarion Hampton would be my realistic option for the Steelers if they were to pick one at 21. Omarion Hampton or Ashton Genty, definitely. I think they can find some late value running backs in this draft. No doubt about it, I think there's some guys that could definitely be found, like a Judkins and guys like that. But definitely, I think Omarion Hampton, Genty, maybe a Caleb Johnson or something. But definitely Genty and Omarion Hampton would be the guys that I definitely go after. Maybe a Henderson or something too. Mark Malone, you have more options if you're not chained to an RPO high school college beat. Yeah, no doubt. You need definite complexity to it, man. No doubt. You need pre-snap movements, motions. You need pre-snap or pre-cadence shifts and moving around, and you need to be an offense that is very fluid, that moves a lot. That's how you're successful, I truly believe, at the NFL level. I think that You have to take the rules and how much you're allowed to move. You need to push the limits on those movements, man. You need to be motioning and moving and really trying to create those mismatches, guys. And you don't see the Steelers do enough of that shit. They'll send a guy in motion like they did in the 1980s or something, typical. But you got to have a ton of motions, a ton of movements, a ton of shifts. You got to be an offense that is moving. That is the key, man. And the Steelers don't do enough of that. All right, my friends, make sure you're double tapping that screen, hitting that like button, sending us out into that YouTube algorithm. We truly appreciate it. It's kind of a downtime right now. Viewership's down a little bit, but we'll get back up here. All the fair weather friends will crawl out from under their rocks here real soon when the draft hits, and they'll be back to knowing everything about football, coming in, giving their 2 cents. So things will get busy again. But for right now, it's a nice, intimate setting for all of us that are diehards that talk about this shit every single day. So I truly appreciate you guys very, very much. Make sure, though, you are sharing and liking all that good shit. Let me get a sip of that coffee, baby. Big Russ, what's up? Yeah, man, I mean, you could get him. I don't know if they're willing to part with the draft capital, Russ. And what does Miami need more than anything right now? Draft capital. They need it badly because honestly, guys, I don't know if they're going to be able to field a fucking team down in Miami. I don't know how they're going to do it. They're in a bad spot down there, my friends. A bad spot. Craig says it was on Steelers Depot. Name was Wilson. Matt Williamson? Okay, I'll try to look it up, Craig. I'll see if I can find it, see what they were saying. I trust what you say, though, Craig. I know you're no bullshit, man. You always got stuff good to say, so I always trust what you say. Steve Winters, what's up, Jason? Love always listening to you. Love your show. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I'm so glad I found it in your honest opinion. What do you feel is the deepest position coming out this year? In my honest opinion, the deepest position I would say will be defensive line, I think. But when I say that, I know a lot of us are talking about what the Steelers need in terms of what they want to see or what they want to draft a defensive lineman, but what is their specific need? That's the thing. Oh, you took your message away. I was trying to read it again as I was talking about it. That's all right, Steve. But yeah, the Steelers need a real run stuffer, so that limits them. When I talk about defensive line, I'm talking about all defensive front players, the whole defensive line, man, and I feel like there's a ton of them. But specifically to the Steelers' needs, I think that there's a handful of guys that could really make a difference. Where are we at? Jason, I was misinformed, told he was cut. Nah, he ain't cut. He was, they're looking to, they're shopping him. They're letting him go. They're willing to trade him, they announced. So yeah, I don't know how Miami's going to field a team down there, guys. I don't know what they're doing. They are in some type of weird flux, in that front office, man. They don't know what the hell they're doing. D says viewership could be down because it's a holiday weekend and some people have lives unlike the rest of us. Yeah, no, too. It's just been down for about a week. It always does. I can go back through this is 2 years now that I've been doing it. I'm working on my second whole year. We're almost there to that second whole summer, man. Yeah, I could look back through my analytics and you could see, which is really cool. You could see like the dips in certain months, It's just the way it is, Football isn't at the forefront sometimes. But it is a holiday weekend. I forgot about that, D. The Easter Bunny comes this weekend. And also, the most important part is let's celebrate our religion, man, and bring some of that back into our homes and teach that to our children because I think that that's very important. And I think definitely you guys should talk more about what Easter is and, Good Friday and Palm Sunday and all those things, and really explain that to your family and bring Christ back into your life, because I believe that truly will make you a much happier person. It does for me, no doubt about it. So I just hope that you all do that. Steve says, sorry about that, Jason. I didn't like how I had it. Oh, it's all right, man. Steve, never worry about that in here, brother, because honestly, man, it's hard to type on phones and stuff too. So I'm good at deciphering them after doing it for so long on the live shows. I'm good at deciphering stuff. I can read through the lines, no doubt. Craig, do you think in between 1 and 2nd round Steelers will trade Pickens? They're not going to trade Pickens this year, guys. I think it'd be counterproductive to what they're trying to do because they can control him for 2 years, guys. They're not going to trade George Pickens. They're going to make him play in Pittsburgh and see what they can do, and they're going to try to keep him around as long as possible in terms of quarterback development also. If you're bringing in young guys, you want to have as many weapons as possible. You're bringing in Mason Rudolph. You're going to want as many weapons as humanly possible. And trading George Pickens at this juncture right now would be counterproductive, in my opinion, because you can franchise tag him. You can do a lot of stuff. You can have control over him for 2 years. Also, you can go into this season with him. And if need be, depending on how the season's transpiring, maybe you need to offload him and you can trade him before the trade deadline. So that's always an option too, Craig. But I don't look for George Pickens to be traded. I don't look for any Steeler to be traded at the deadline or at the draft day. I think that's kind of just out at this point. I think the Steelers are kind of content. But not saying anything isn't possible because it always is. But in my opinion, I don't think it'll happen. Armand, today's Orlando Sentinel by Dave Hyde ripped Dolphins buffoonery last 6 years. They should, Armand. I've never seen anything quite like it. The Miami Dolphins, they get a flag on the play today. They get a 15-yarder for just being complete and utter jackasses down there, man. They were just a year or two ago, everybody's talking about them winning a Super Bowl. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Ramsey, Tua Tagovailoa, and my Lord, Jalen Waddle. I love Jalen Waddle. They would have sent Jalen Waddle up to Pittsburgh. We'll take that, baby. Wow, the comments were filling up quick here, guys. I thought I was caught up. Robert, when will you have a Steelers player on your podcast? I already had one, Robert. I had Merrill Hodge on before. We'll see if we can get Merrill back on. It's hard for me to do that because I'm not in the locker room. So we'll see. Maybe I'll stumble onto it. We'll see what happens. But I had Merrill on one time. I'm going to try to see if I can message older players because I feel like that brings some value. And hearing from people voices of the past, I just feel like Steeler fans are very nostalgic. So I want to try to do that. I thought that would be really cool. But that was a while ago. I believe that was last summer we had Merrill on. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember. It's been a while now. Sleeping Lady, hello, Steve. Good to punctuate correctly. Robert, the Bible is the answer for everything in your life. It is. It truly is, Robert. And, I got to say this, too. And this will be the last thing I say about it because I know a lot of people aren't religious. But I've always been afraid to say things about that, about how I feel about that on the podcast and things of that nature, and fears of offending anybody or, making people not want to listen. But, I've come to the conclusion that I don't care if people don't because of that, because I will never deny my Lord and Savior. So definitely I'm not going to ever shy away from that any longer. I'm not going to ever tiptoe around that here on the pod because it's just what I believe. It's just what I believe, and that's okay. If you don't, that's your choice, your decision. But I know my decision, and that is something that I won't never deny because I just don't want to. So that is what it is. Predictions for the Steelers next season. Typical Mike Tomlin year, 9-10 wins. I think that's where it'll be, Elam. Your Saints are in some trouble down there, Elam, I see. Jonathan Stevens, we're in here. Good to see you guys. Aaron is growing on me. I wouldn't mind him as a year or two rental to get our franchise guy next year. Never know. I just don't think he wants to do any of the offseason stuff. That's really where I'm at with it. Are we getting some new football players in the? Well, yes, we are, Mike. Yes, we are, brother, from another mutter. What's up, JD? Always good to see you, brother. JD, man. JD probably remembers Merrill way back. JD's been with us since forever. Man. Way back there. You probably remember Merrill, JD. Steve, Jason, my mom just contacted me and said, did we get Aaron Rodgers because he's seen something on TV about it? Did you hear? No, I don't think so. Let me do the search. I got it up here, Steve. No. No breaking news. No breaking news. Nope. I always try to search. I'll refresh the screen sometimes here with Steelers. When I come onto the show, I always put Steelers news in one tab, and I will hit refresh on there because, man, we've had shows to where during the show they've announced trades or releases. So definitely try to do that just in case. And usually it'll pop up if any news comes on, but that's why I just refreshed it. I didn't see anything. I agree, Russ. Tyreek Hill, baby mama drama will screw your fantasy team more than he screws women if you draft him. I don't know, Kermigs. I don't know. I've never heard of that guy, Steel Maiden. I don't even know who that is. Never heard of him. Not like knocking him or anything. I just never heard of him. That's why you should come here, Kermigs. Steel City Live, baby. It's usually bumping up in here, man. We're usually fired up, going crazy. Again, though, this is like a down time, man. This is when the diehards are in right now. This is the part of the season where it's diehards, you know? No doubt about it. What would be the ideal quarterback move for the Steelers, in your opinion? Drafting Tyler Shuck or Will Howard in rounds 3 or 4. That would be the ideal move for me, D. Jay, y'all got a hell of a wide receiver core this season. How you feeling about Fields being your quarterback? He's not. He's in New Jersey playing for the Jets, Jay. But we do have a hell of a core. Jonathan Steven, Jesus loves you all 100. Don't be scared of knowing or admitting that. Absolutely, Jonathan. Appreciate it. Steve, that's right, my friend. If you preach it, God bless everybody. The Lord is our Savior. Man, I'm glad to see all you guys on the right path there, man. What's up, TD? What's up, DJ? All right, guys, I'm going to go. Still daylight out there, still ready to roll. I'm going to go and probably throw the football around with the kid or something. We were doing it earlier, so I got to put cushions in and everything, too. It was a nice day out, so I had all my lawn stuff out. I mowed my grass. I have my mower set to that right height now, though, that I got my yard absolutely perfecto. But now I have to mow that shit 2 times a week because that bitch grows now. It grows. So I got to definitely do that. All right, guys, thank you so very much for joining us here on Steel City Live. We'll be back tomorrow. No, tomorrow's Good Friday. I will not be back. We might. It's Easter, so maybe we'll do a show Saturday. Sunday is Easter, so that won't happen. But the draft is next week, so maybe we'll be back Monday. But probably Saturday, maybe we'll do something to break up the holiday weekend a little bit. Maybe we'll have a special holiday show to boost everybody's spirits up, and we'll have a cool conversation. But until then, man, thank you. Have a happy Easter, everybody, if I don't see you. And next week's going to be hopping. So all the fair weather friends, they'll crawl out from underneath their rock, and we'll get all their football expertise here soon. So we'll be ready to roll. But until then, guys, I'm Jason. This is Mike, Drop Sports in the show, Steel City Live. Peace, my friend.